All right. I really, really, really think this could be one of your best test grades of the semester, okay? Because most of it's done in the calculator. My biggest concern is that there is, out of the 65 points, one question that's worth 10. Okay? Because that's one of those optimization problems. I think it has 5. Okay? We'll do an example. But let's get through this. This is the stuff I'm worried about for Monday's test. Can we do this? What are we going to do?
Multiply by negative. Add row by negative 3. And then we're going to add that.
Okay, but wait a minute. Which two rows don't change at all?
Row 1 and row 3.
Oh, we're so confused. Look, row 2 gets replaced, but row 1 and row 3 stay the same. Okay? So you leave the first row, even though it says to take it times 3, you only take it times 3 to add it to row 2. You don't change it in and of itself. Now you take row 1 times 3 and then add it down here.
Negative.
Yes, so it'd be negative 3 times 1 plus 3, which would be 0. And then it would be negative 3 times negative 1 plus 5, which would be
8.
negative 3 times 2 plus 0. And negative 3 times 6 plus negative 4.
Okay, so on the test, we aren't going to have to like do the thing where we have to get it to the identity matrix. You're just going to give us that, like, one portion of
Yes, this is all you have to do from Gauss-Jordan elimination method is that. One problem like that, okay?
And that's exactly how it's going to be.
Yes, that's it. Okay, determinant is on there. It is a 2 by 2. If you want to put into matrix A all of those numbers, okay, then you could go to math, the matrix math part, and the very first thing is determinant, and you'd find the determinant of A. I personally think it's a total waste of time because the rule is you take the product of that diagonal and you subtract the product of that diagonal. So it's negative 4 minus 40 is negative 44, and you're done. I'm concerned about time only because some of you are going to get stuck on that big word problem. Okay? I think the rest of the test will be fine, but you want to save up as much time as you can for that lovely optimization problem.
I don't do that wrong.
We can practice it in a minute. Let's just keep going here. Multiplying matrices, you have to do 1 and it has a variable in it, okay? If you do this row, I'm going to do some color coding here, guys. You are more than welcome to use colored pencils on this test. It would be colored pens, whatever you want. Be very helpful on the optimization problem as well, right? If you write the equation in green and then you graph it in green, you write another equation in purple, you graph it in purple, then you can find where they intersect because you'll know which two lines it is that are intersecting goes with which equations. Some of you get confused when we do all that shading. You know what I'm talking about? You can't figure out which equations even intersect. All right, this become, yeah, what did I just do?
That's what I was confused.
Okay. Row times column. Thank you. I was a little distracted there. So it's negative 1 times 5 plus 0 times 1 should be negative 5, yes? Then if I do this row times this column, I'll have negative 1 times 0 times x. Just kidding. Oh my goodness. I was worried about squeezing it in there, and instead I can't even talk. There we go. Negative 1 times x plus 0 times negative 2, which is just negative 1x. Somebody else want to try the next one since I'm doing so well?
So 2 times 5 is 10 plus 4 times 1 is 14. I'm feeling pretty good about this right now. Which one Monday?
I know, it doesn't make me happy that we have a Monday test, but
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't think you want me to postpone it till Tuesday and start reviewing the final before that. I think you'd be better off just
Not your fault. That's how it all works
Okay.
out.
no, and I didn't think you wanted to try to cram it in today. So
Personally, no.
I'll be feeling it.
okay. This is a 4-point question on the test, and it does say set up but do not solve. This example especially don't try to solve because I just made this up and didn't even try to make it work, okay? So 3 investments total $100,000. He's going to put, okay, so X is going to stand for the amount of money that's in an account that is earning 3.2% interest. This is the amount of money at 5. And 5.75. You can write those any way you want. I did it 3 different ways, but you get it. That's what those blanks are for. I don't want to know what the answers are. I want to know. You don't have to solve it, okay? This is meant to not take time to plug it in your calculator. Just write the equations. Who can tell me one of them? Jared, can you do a different one, or is that the one you wanted to do? $100,000 total invested. Kirsten? How did that change to an eraser?
That's kind of cool.
No, it wasn't, but 5580. Okay. Then there's always the third one that we got to try to figure out. It says the amount invested at 5% is $20,000 more than the total invested the other 2 amounts. Does the amount invested mean 0.05 or 0.05y, or does it just mean y? Just means y. If it said the amount earned on the investment, then we do the 0.05, but it just says the amount invested. So y, then what? Kate, you want to finish? It's just the amount invested. Yeah, it's just x plus y. So you really don't need the parentheses. The amount is 20,000 more than the other 2 added together. Okay? You could rearrange it. Oh, that's a z. Whoa! How'd it get 2 y's? Yeah, I probably messed everybody up.
Confused on how y could be
'Kay.
40,000 more.
Then itself, huh? Okay. More than the total invested at x and z, right? X plus z. If you were doing a matrix, you would want to do like negative x plus y minus z equals 20,000. And I would count it right if you decided to rewrite it that way, but you don't have to for that question because you're not solving anyway. All right, number 5. Matrix multiplication, where A is a 1/3 matrix and B is a 3/5 matrix. Can you find the product of AB?
Yes.
And these 3's are the same, so we answer yes, and the answer, the dimensions are 1/5. If anybody misses that point, I'm gonna smack you.
Can we just put a little more?
Yeah, you can put a little time sign. You will be cut off from candy for the remainder of the year if you missed that question.
How could you do
The
that?
remainder of the year, there's not that much left.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the year would be that anyway.
Huh?
We got one more.
Yeah. All right. This one, shh, guys, it says given the initial inventory matrix and the delivery matrix for a shipment to a store. Find the updated inventory. So what are we doing with these? This is what they had. This came in. Now the new inventory. We're just adding them together. Okay, everybody can do that?
Yeah, that's what I remember now.
And if you get that one wrong,
We could also plug into our calculator if we didn't remember.
yes, you could plug this in matrix A, this in matrix B, and type A plus B if you want to waste time you will never get back in your life, right?
Well, I mean, if I'm in the class anyway.
I'd rather have the time to do the icky problem at the end of the test.
What if I did that problem first?
You can do that problem first. Okay, I'm a little worried about this one.
No, you're not allowed.
Okay, be careful. It says they're going to increase the markup by an additional 12%. You don't just multiply by 12, okay? They're going to charge all of this plus an extra 12%, or 100% of that price plus another 12%. So what are we going to multiply by? Almost. 1.12. Good job. Okay, the scalar is 1.12. This is exactly like the one on the test and the post test, except it might say 15% or 18% or 22%, okay?
Okay.
If it said decrease, then you'd subtract, but it doesn't, so, okay. You can put this into the matrix in your calculator and then on your home screen do times matrix A. I think it's kind of a waste of time. Yeah, we're just going to multiply 1.12 times each of these numbers. What are we going to round to, though? Yeah, nearest cent or 2 decimal places. Okay, do you need me? Let's just do 2 of them together, and I'll leave you the other 2. You get it. What's the first one?
2.90.
Okay, and 14 times 1.12?
15.60.
Everybody okay? Do you need me to do the other 2, or you got it? Do I have it right on the back? The answer key's on the back. Okay, substitution. To solve this system.
How did you get 13.3? Oh, never mind.
Okay. All right, if I rearrange this equation, however you want to do it, you can probably do it in your head, but did you get 2x minus 10 equals y?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to put this in for y in this one. So it'll be x squared plus 2x minus 10 squared equals 145. And I am so proud of you all. You have gotten really good at remembering that you have to FOIL this out, right? So we get x squared plus what? 20x minus another 20x plus 100 or minus 100? Okay, it's a quadratic, so we want to make it do what? Equals 0. I may have forgotten a 0.
God bless you.
Thinking that should say 40x. That 0 was kind of important. Now what?
Now we can factor out 5.
We can factor out a 5, or we could actually divide it out and throw it away because it can never equal 0 anyway, right? minus 9 plus 1, right? So x equals 9 or x equals negative 1. Done?
No.
No. We're only halfway there. We have to write ordered pairs, okay? 9 or negative 1 could be the x. There is a y that goes with each of those. I'm going to use this equation right here because I'm lazy like that. 2 times 9 minus 10 is 8. And 2 times negative 1 minus 10 is... Okay, if I square those and add them together, do I get 145? Well, 12 squared is 144. Negative 1 squared is 1. That one works, right? The other one is 9 squared plus 8 squared would be 81 and 64. 145. We're good.
We're so smart.
Number 9. If A and B are both 3 by 3 matrices and they are inverses, what do we get when we multiply A times B? Okay. It's identity matrix, but what is the matrix that is the product? So let's write it out. And would this question be even easier if I made it a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2 on the test?
Oh, that's
Which one is the first question on the exam? That's the real question.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Are we done with this worksheet? Okay. I am going to go to worksheet 16. Worksheet 16, and I'm going to cross a whole bunch of it out, so make sure you're paying attention. Now, it's not on the homework check anyway. It's just for practice, but there's a bunch of stuff on here that you shouldn't even practice because you don't need to know it. I don't know. I'll tell you when we get there. Okay. This is just about the vocabulary. What's wrong? Oh, it's back there. Yep. And I think I'm down to the icky graph paper, but it works. It's like the manila paper with blue lines. Okay. Augmented matrix. This is easy, but you got to know what that vocabulary means to do.
Take out all the variables.
It does, but it just wants the augmented matrix, so you don't even have to solve it. But it's the one where you just take out the variables. Yes.
Oh, look at there's even a space where the Y is supposed to go.
The book always puts a little dotted line. Actually, they put a solid line there, I think. You don't have to. If you put a line there, you don't put a line there. I'm not going to count it right or wrong, okay? Long as you, this is not a matrix multiplication where you write a little matrix with an X, Y, and Z, okay? That's matrix multiplication. It would say rewrite as matrix multiplication problem. All right, so number 2. Got me on 2? The directions aren't very good. If it said, given the equations has X, Y, Z, what would this look like if you put them back into equations?
Is that basically what it's asking?
Yes. It says write the system of equations. Whoops. Plus 2z equals 0. We good? Okay. This question is negative 3 times row 1 added to row 2, whatever that says. This is just more practice. You can do this if you want. Okay, it's not assigned, but
He's like facing the corner.
I don't know. They get annoyed with him in some classes. Somebody pushes it every day. Okay, 3 times row 1 added to row 3. If you want to practice this, go right ahead. Do not do these. What elementary row operation? That's like figure out how they got from this matrix to this one. Yeah, we don't have to do that. Not on the test. Not on the test.
This is why I can't take calc, just because like I'm not gonna remember any of this next year, and like if I'm gonna get into calc, in this group it's gonna be like you guys remember that? And they'd be like, no, I don't.
Not on the test. I like those questions, and we may do them second semester if we have time when we do conics, but we're going to skip them for now.
I don't like
All right, this, oh, I love conics. We spend way too much time on conics because off-power likes that chapter. All right,
I'm gonna fail. Like,
I'll try to stop myself, okay? We're spending the whole second semester. No. We get to graph ellipses, like the ovals and stuff. Okay. Doing one thing, we'd probably be really good at it.
I like
All right, guys. This is on the test. But some of these are tricky, so I'm going to cut a couple off and replace them with something. But I want to practice this. It's important. Okay? This first line would say x equals 1. The second line would say y equals 2. But the third line says 0 equals 3, which is something like a big no solution. And that's all you have to do when you have a line that has 0, 0, 0 equals something else. It's no solution. Yeah, nice try, Hofbauer, right? Okay. Number 9 is messed up. We're just going to skip it. It has 4 variables and only 3 equations, and we're not going to have one like that, so I'm going to skip it. I am going to do something instead. I'm going to practice this with you. 1062 0114 0000. What does this mean? Okay, a row of zeros means many solutions. Unfortunately, then we have to do a bunch of work. Yes. We're going to rewrite this. What does this equation really say? And this equation really means... So we are able to write them all in terms of z. So we're going to say, oh, I don't know why I suddenly switched to a cursive z. We're going to write z equals any number. Then we're going to have a little triplet here where z can be anything, and we have to put something in for x and something in for y that only has z's. So how would I get this to say x equals?
Subtract 2 minus 6.
So down here I write 2 minus 6z. You can put negative 6z plus 2. It's all good. This would be what? Y equals 4 minus z, or negative z plus 4 if you feel better. Either one is the same thing. No, it doesn't. Okay. Everybody can do that, though? Because that's a lot of points. Don't mess that up.
72 points.
This, there's not one like this with this many variables, but this would say what? X equals 1, y equals 2, z equals 3. Yeah, even though it says, as long as the 1 is over here, it still says equals 0. Yeah, if you look at the directions, it says it goes x, y, z, w. Yeah. That's the way they always do that in matrices. I don't know why it's not on the test with 4. Okay. Do you want, it is many solutions, but it has 4 variables. Do you want to do it? Okay. Do you want me to make up another one with 3, or are you good? Anybody need me to do another one? Okay.
I'm cool if other people want.
It's on the homework, yes. Do you want me to do one more? Okay. We can handle it, guys. 1, 0, 1, negative 3. 0, 1, 2, 8. 0, 0, 0, 0. Now what do we write? Many solutions. Then what? Z equals any number. And we're going to go back and rewrite these. This will say what?
Is it possible that we can get like a y equals
Not if it's in reduced row echelon form, it'll always be the last variable. In theory, it's possible that it could be two variables, but I won't put that on the test. X plus z equals -3, which if we get the x by itself will be -3 minus z. This one says y plus 2z equals 8. So if we get the y by itself, it's 8 minus 2z. So what's the triplet?
Negative z minus
-3 minus z.
negative 2z
8 minus 2z.
plus a z.
Better?
We said the same thing.
I encourage you to write out what it means before you try to get the x by itself, because too many times if you try to do that at all in your head, you'll make a mistake. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. If you did this problem up here, yes, it has a ZZ at the end, or a WW at the end, actually. Yeah. And then it has a, this would be 2 minus 2W, and this would be -2 minus W. Is that what it was?
Do that all in your head?
Yeah. Okay. All right, and this one you can throw away. Okay. Now we're going to practice
Papa, you amazing. I hope you
worksheet 13. Did we do all of 13 yet? Did we do all of 13 already? Or pretty much all of 13? Did we do the vacuum cleaner problem?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the big and small vacuums. What did we not do? We didn't do 5 or 6? Okay. I'll help you set these up real fast because this is on the homework check, isn't it? But honestly, I want to get to the other side of the puzzle worksheet and do the cookie problem because that's one that's got, you wanted me to do an example, right, of the linear optimization. We could do something different if you want. I can make up another one, but I thought we'd just do that cookie one.
I'm so
This is worksheet 13B. Thank you. Okay. X is the number of shares of company X we're going to buy. And Y is the number of shares of company Y. Because that's how many shares of each should he buy. Now, it's a little confusing. It says company X costs $32 a share and pays $120 a share. Company Y costs $29 a share and pays $140 a share. Those aren't equations that you can write because the cost and the dividend are two different things. We have a total of $10,000 to spend. So what's going to equal $10,000? Yeah, these are costing us, what, $32? And the other guys are costing us $29 for a total of $10,000. Then there's what we're expecting to get back in dividends every year. 1.2, 1.4, 540. Okay. It says you don't have to solve that one. Okay. Do you need me to set up 6 or can we go to the word problem? The worksheet on the cookie problem. Can we do this one? This is the back of 12. Unless you want me to do one out of the book. Let me just do this one? Because otherwise we really need graph paper and blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know. Does it come out? The numbers. Could be, yeah. All right, guys. This I did on the test for you as well. Okay, I assigned the X and the Y. The question on the test is like, Farmer Joe is raising cows and pigs. Okay? It says something like, he can only have 12 animals. So you'd have like an X plus Y has to be less than or equal to 12. Does that seem okay? He can only raise 4 pigs because they stink. So that would just be an X is less than or equal to 4 with one variable. Okay? That's going to be like a vertical line. Then it says like it costs him to go out and buy them, you know, $100 for these and $400 for these, and he has $12,000 to spend or whatever, okay? So you're going to make one more inequality with that sentence. There's 3 to graph, and then you have to find the intersection points and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here we go on this question. What I started to say was I tell you which letter to use for which animal, because otherwise people would do it other ways, and then I would have to redo the problem on my answer key 4 different ways. And so, okay, here we go. We have so much dough, 72 pounds. So what are we going to write?
Less than or equal to 70.
Yeah, I'm going to write them down here so I can copy them onto the next page in a minute. Okay, how much dough do we need if we're making plain cookies, boring cookies? 1.2 per pound, or pounds per box, plus 0.9 Y. Must not get as many sugar or frosted cookies in the box.
Maybe it's just because the frosting takes up so much space.
Maybe, or because they don't want to put them on top of each other because then your frosting will be all smashed. I don't know. All right, another equation. What's going on here? When we actually go to ice them or frost them, we only need frosting for one kind. 0.4 pounds for an iced box, and we only have 20 pounds. 20 pounds of icing. 0.4 Y is less than or equal to 20. Everybody okay? Not okay? Maybe okay? Now what? One more. Time to prepare. We only have 9 hours. So 0.1 to make a box of plain cookies and 0.15 to make a box of iced cookies. How come there aren't little tiny decimals on the graph paper?
The boxes of cookies aren't the decimals.
When we start dividing these, woo! Woo! I don't know what just happened. I'm sure my videos are so amusing. Okay, here's our equations. Okay, the red one I'm going to do in red. Okay? I am going to put 0 in for the X, and then it will say 0.9Y equals 72. If I divide, I get 80. You take my word for it. If I put the 0 in for the Y, it will say 1.2X equals 72, and Basma's right, you get 60. So I have 0, 80 way up at the top, and 60, 0, and the magic of technology, I can draw a straight line. Boom. And it's less than that. Okay, second line in green, this equation. Okay. I'm going to just divide. If I divide 20 by 0.4, I get 80. So Y is less, kidding, I get 50. Thank you. Like, that's not right. Okay, I get Y is less than 50, so I have a horizontal line and it's below that. And of important note is that every point on that line has a Y value of 50. Okay, blue equation, blue line. Let me move this little guy down. Well, let's just erase it then, okay? That one became y equals 50. Okay, I'll write it in there. All right, this one. If I put a 0 in for the x, I'd have 0.15y equals 90. I think if you divide, you get 60.
Equals 9.
This is it 9? Okay,
9.
but it does come out 60 when you divide. Just kidding. There we go.
It'd be a lot bigger than
Sorry.
90.
Yeah, it would be. Okay. The other one, if you put the 0 in for the y, you'll have 0.1x equals 9, which is 90. So we have 0, 90, 90, 0, I lied, 0, 60. And my magical line tool will draw a blue line from here to here. Above or below? If it was above, we'd have a really tiny little area to shade, but it's not. It's below.
I've already shaded like
Okay. Now, where are the three colors shading, overlapping?
a whole section right here.
Yes, I got to be below the green line, below the blue line, below the red line. Whoa, got a little carried away there. Okay. I need me some vertices. 0, 0. There's some points on the quiz right there.
0, 50.
0, 50. Now wait a minute. What about 0, 60? Does that one count?
No.
Okay. It's above the green. Doesn't count. Okay.
60, 0.
60, 0. This one over here. This one counts.
This is not black. Oh my god.
Okay. Now, I would like to talk about an effective way to find the intersection points. This is where the red and blue line intersects, right here, right? So if I take that red equation, 1.2, 0.9, and 72, and make a little matrix, what is the blue equation matrix? 0.1, 0.15, and 9. Can you do RREF for that? I have it in my calculator already.
Oh, I like the shape.
It becomes a little matrix that says 1, 0, 30, 0, 1, 40. What is that telling us?
The X is 30 and Y is 40.
So this intersection point is 30, 40.
Isn't that what I have drawn?
I almost have that drawn.
Okay. Now, the green one, you could do the same thing. Let me write, what way, green one? What two lines are intersecting at the other points? The green and the blue.
So the Y
The green was 0x, 0.4y, and 20. And the blue was 0.1, 0.15, and 9, if you wanted to do that matrix,
Wait,
okay?
But if you already knew, you know the Y.
Yes, that's why. I think I would have just said y is 50, and so on the blue line, what happens when y is 50? 0.1x plus 0.15 times 50 equals 90. 9, just kidding. 0.1x plus 7.5 equals 9. 0.1x equals 1.5x equals 15. So it's 1550. It would have worked. Yep, mine is looking pretty good actually, 1550. But I did get to cheat. Okay. You have to go to the bottom of the worksheet this time to find the equation. Can you go to the bottom? What does it say? 2 plain and 3 frosted. 2x plus 3y. Gives us 0. What gives us what? 150, 120. That would be 60 plus 120 is 180. 15 times 2 would be 30 plus 150 is 180 also. Okay. We did get 2 answers. That won't happen on the quiz. What this actually means is that actually all points work here. 30 plus 150, 60 plus. Are we good? Okay, so it actually means all points in between here and here would also work. Okay? But it really doesn't matter. You would write all points between this and this on the line, which was this line right here, on the blue line. It's not going to happen on the test that way, but did that help you review a little bit how you could solve them, how you could write the equations?
Yes, this is very, very helpful.
Okay.
I learned a lot.
If you haven't done the book work, there's more practice in the book. Take pictures of keys if you need to, so you can practice this weekend. Monday, the rest of the book work is due, or the rest of the worksheets and book work